He wants a brace on his debut, why not? Short corner though, Dani Ceballos. Gabriel might have to go back in a minute. Hoisted inside the area, flicked away. Fulham managed to clear their lines.
Yeah, I didn't see how much injury time we got. Fulham obviously be praying for hardly any. But yeah, Arsenal pushing for the fourth. But yeah, as opening days go, doesn't get a lot better than this. Gabriel scores in his debut. Willian gets 2 assists on his debut. We create a stack of chances. We barely face a shot worthy of the name. It's it's been spot on today. Really good start to the campaign.
3 minutes of added on time, I've been told, at the end of this London derby. London derby in which Fulham were never really at the races. Alex Lacazette's goal after 8 minutes, settling the Gunners, who of course finished last season so well, and that Community Shield win that was played as a good tempo was a decent pointer and a good workout for this Arsenal side that look like they are going to pick up where they left off with 2 stunning performances in the FA Cup against Manchester City and against Chelsea. Yes, a little inconsistent after the restart. I think the hands of Brighton and of course Aston Villa. But when it really mattered, Mikel Arteta got it right at the end of last season, and obviously it's different now because he's got to get it right every single week. But there's an awful chance that I think he will do more often than not here, get it spot on, whether it's against some of the lesser lights in the Premier League or some of the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Just looking at the shape there. Maitland-Niles playing as a left side centre-half at the moment. Tierney at left wing-back. I don't know whether that's a tactical thing or whether they're just, covering one another, but that's something we can do as well on occasion. Why not? If Tierney wants to push on, let's drop Ainsley in. It's we've suddenly got a team that have got players capable of playing in different little pockets, and that's a real plus as well.
So, final minute of the added-on 3. Arsenal have possession inside their own penalty area. Leno has been relatively on trouble. A couple of straightforward shots to save, and that moment nervousness very early on when there was just a slight misunderstanding between Gabriel and the German. Aside from that, his reintroduction to the side has been fairly seamless. This is Reid. Chris Kavanagh checks his watch. We've nearly had the 3 minutes of added on time. Final opportunity maybe for Fulham to get some sort of consolation as they play the ball forward via Michael Hector. Now it's with Adoy on the right-hand side. Well, the 3 minutes is up, and I think Chris Kavanagh is going to pull for the whistle. There it is. Arsenal start their Premier League season with success against Fulham at Craven Cottage. Alex Lacazette getting the ball rolling in the 8th minute. Real poacher's goal after Willian's effort was saved by Rodak. Good work from Aubameyang and Xhaka in the build-up. Gabriel, a debut goal from a corner, a Willian corner, his first assist of 2. The 2 Brazilians combining to make it 2 just after the restart. Fulham never really at the races, and Aubameyang in typical fashion before the hour after a wonderful ball from Willian again made sure that Arsenal started the season with a flourish. Much more to come. We'll be taking your thoughts via Reddit and Twitter. Get your questions in. We'll have a little bit of tactical analysis as well. We'll be back shortly. Full time here, it's finished. Fulham 0, Arsenal 3.
The game, make history. VBet.
I'd like to taste a real Italian coffee, please.
She said real Italian coffee?
In a capsule?
An eco capsule.
What?
Impossible!
In harmony with nature.
You mean a compostable capsule?
With Italian taste.
Buonissimo.
Yes, Lavazza. Your home coffee experience goes compostable with the new Lavazza Eco Caps. Lavazza, more than Italian.
Well done.
Arsenal have got the Premier League season 2021 off to a winning start with success over Fulham at Craven Cottage. A professional 3-0 win over the promoted side. AD, an awful lot of good things from Mikel Arteta's side today. A fantastic opening day performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect start to the new season. I think that the formation worked beautifully. The two debutants came in and made huge contributions. Gabriel obviously scoring, Willian getting 2 assists. It doesn't get much better for those guys. And in general, I just felt that it was a very confident display that showcases how far this team has come under Mikel Arteta so far. These are the kind of matches that Arsenal was slipping up in last season and in years gone by, but they never looked like messing up today. It was very, very accomplished. Great stuff.
It really was a fantastic performance from the Gunners, and man of the match, you could suggest. Willian, signed from Chelsea, of course, 32 years old now. Suggestion that maybe his best years are behind him. That might be the case to a certain point, but there's still plenty of good things from the Brazilian, and he was key to Arsenal's success at the Cottage today.
Yeah, William was brilliant. Yeah, I would suggest that he was Arsenal's best player on the day. He made 2 goals. I mean, the crossfield pass for the Aubameyang goal was absolute class. But in general play, he just buzzed around. His decision making was great. Really gave the ball away. I think he had a 95.7 pass accuracy, Willian. Here's his touch map. You can see primarily on the right, but loads of touches in central areas as well, Dan, which is a great sign because you want movement. You want him to be unpredictable. And he was in this game. He had a shot. He put in 3 crosses. It was pretty much as good as it gets from him. He hit the post, of course, as well with a free kick. Could easily have scored and got a brace of assists. So Willian has settled into life as a Gooner very nicely indeed. I thought he'd be a good signing, and look, based on what we've seen so far, absolute steal on a free transfer.
And there's no doubt that he's winning over Arsenal fans already. I think that everybody wanted Willian to start well, and that's exactly what he has done. And he's the first of the 3 things that we have learned today. He really does look like the perfect player for Mikel Arteta. An awful lot on social media about the Brazilian. This is from Brian, who says, I know he's just starting out his Arsenal career, but do you think Willian is Arsenal's best bet at progressing the ball for now? Who do you think is his replacement in the team? His range of passing, he's fantastic, isn't it? As well as the fact that, we know he pops up with a lot of assists. We know that he can score goals as well, but he just impressed me on the ball throughout his time on the pitch today.
Yeah, he's not like Pepe. Pepe's a box of tricks as a wide player. Willian is more neat and tidy, but he's got a great technique. I would say that Saka is probably Willian's backup, as that guy that links play beautifully between midfield and attack, that can provide in product for Mikel Arteta. And whether he's out by the touchline, whipping crosses along the face of goal, or sliding players in with an accurate pass, he's got it all, and he can score goals as well. So I think Willian and Saka are 2 that will be competing for the same role this season. Pepe will be an alternative. He's a more sort of dynamic flashy winger, so to speak, who can score very, very spectacular goals. We know that. He actually came on and did pretty well himself. I thought Nicola Pepe showed a good attitude. But yeah, wow, what a start for Willian.
A couple more tweets for you from Arsenal supporters mentioning Willian. Very, very pleased with his debut. It took Willian 8 minutes to get his first Premier League assist for Arsenal. And he's looking 5 years younger as well. Well, he's 32, or so the record book say. But I'll tell you what, I think there's still plenty left in the legs. What else have we got on Twitter for Willian here? Because there's been much chat.
Yeah, it fits like a glove, according to Tuma, and I wouldn't disagree with that. Why he's a perfect Arteta player is because he can play right, he can play left, he can play central. He's very, very comfortable all over the pitch. And what he is, he's intelligent because he's a very experienced player. He's been around for years at the highest level. Clever movement just comes as second nature to Willian, and that's what Arsenal are all about moving forwards under this manager. So Willian, I'm sure, will be one of the first names on the team sheet moving forward.
Let's stick with the Brazilian theme, shall we, for the second thing that we've learned today. Willian and Gabriel, incidentally, the 10th and 11th Brazilians to play for Arsenal. What did we learn today? Well, that Gabriel brings an imposing presence to our backline. He was assertive at the back, wasn't he? Am I the only one who feels so comfortable with the long balls in Arsenal's half? Gabriel looks so imposing, and damn, this guy doesn't run back from a 1v1. Too early, maybe, but we have a gem on our hands. And also from Richard Thomas saying, playing well here, Arsenal. Gabriel looks like he will be a Rolls-Royce defender, a quality performer. Very good today. There's no doubt about that. Again, only against Fulham, but you can do little more than get a clean sheet and score on your debut as a centre half.
Yeah, he wasn't overworked, put it that way. Almost a nightmare start when a little bit of a miscommunication between him and Bernd Leno. He got away with that one. And from that moment on, he didn't make a mistake, did he? Scored a goal, lovely header, textbook, wasn't it? Into the ground, nutmeg the keeper, beautiful finish from him. And in general, I liked his assertiveness. He looks quick, he looks confident, and he looks like he's someone that will make life difficult for opposition forwards. And that's what you want. You don't want them to have an easy ride, and Gabriel won't give them an easy ride. He'll make mistakes along the way. I think that much is obvious, but he looks a good player. Also a nice passer. I think he made more passes than any other Arsenal player by a country mile in this game. He was the man in the middle of the defence that was spraying it around. So yeah, good start for him as well.
Individuals, of course, have got to work within the framework of what Mikel Arteta wants to set out. And the third thing maybe that we learned today, and this is something that we've talked about over the course of the last 6 months, our improving movement can make 3-4-3 an attacking formation. We've discussed this a lot amongst ourselves and the fans. This is an interesting one here from OFTC FM. Says, Adrian, interesting to see the use of underlapping wing-backs. Do you think this is influence from the way the Bayern Munich team used to play under Guardiola? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, good question. Yeah, I think that Mikel Arteta, like all coaches, he'll be influenced by other top coaches and great teams of the past, and he will have seen things like that and taken note of them and added them to his repertoire. We have seen underlapping fullbacks. We've seen Ainsley Maitland-Niles go wide, and then Tierney comes steaming through the gaps. That happened on numerous occasions. Bellerin popping up in central midfield areas, making runs as well. It's from sort of in to out. Very, very interesting. It's all about movement. It's all about rotating positions. When one player goes inside, the other goes outside. And you can see, watching Arsenal, how hard they've worked at it at London Colney. You can see the fruits of those training sessions in that performance today. And look, I think Arteta's had his first pre-season, hasn't he? Albeit a short one. And he's used that time wisely by the look of things. He's got the team playing more fluidly. And that is the key. And that's why we use that slide there. That is the key to making this formation, not just a containment one. We've seen 3-4-3 work brilliantly in those big games defensively and on transitions, but we need it to work for us when we are expected to be imaginative and create chances. Today, because of that great movement, it worked perfectly, and it's food for thought moving forwards. I still think I'd like to see an extra attacking midfielder in there on occasion, but today was a big step forward.
Absolutely worked a little bit differently as we discussed throughout the game. One or two more tweets on the formation as well that we can reference here, because it's always a big talking point. This is from Adam Crafton, who says, not to get completely carried away, but at the moment Arsenal's defensive shake tenacity reminds me of Conte's Chelsea, and their attacking play feels like a fusion of Pep City and Wilder's Sheffield United, referencing three other managers there. Adam. Mitchell Green says, they did it a lot last year, but Arsenal's 3-4-3, 4-3-3 switch just looks better with Gabriel in there. Pro of having a left-footed centre-back when you play primarily down the left looks so much quicker and smoother in the build-up. I mean, it does change shape very, very comfortably, and all the players have bought into this, it would appear. It takes a bit of time, I would imagine, before you get into that way of playing, but you can't fault the way that Arsenal have played, not just in this game, but the back end of last season as well.
No, absolutely. Yeah, the balance of the team looked right, and bang on there, Mitchell, with the tweet, because when we do go to a 4, when we're playing out from the back, Gabriel is on the left, and Tierney, another left footer, is outside him. So it just works. It really does. And then ahead of them, they've got clever movement. So yeah, the influences again. Conte's Chelsea. Yeah, I can see that, especially with the hard work as well. The pressing at the high end of the pitch. There is a bit of Man City movement there, no doubt about it. Their wing backs or fullbacks often end up in central midfield. We saw that today with Maitland-Niles and with Bayer in, and Sheffield United with the underlapping fullbacks or overlapping centre halves rather, overlapping centre halves. That's become a trademark for Wilder, and we've seen it not just in this game. We saw it at Wembley with the Community Shield and the FA Cup final with Tierney particularly flying forward on the overlap when the time was right. It's good to watch, isn't it?
No doubt about that. It's been fantastic today. Just one final point, Adi, to wrap up. Obviously, it's only the first game of the season. We're all going to get carried away probably with a 3-0 win against Fulham. But off the back of a Community Shield success over Liverpool, that was a game at a high tempo. The success over Chelsea in the FA Cup. I mean, things are looking up from an Arsenal point of view here. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. And I know it's only day one of the Premier League, but this is the best possible start.
Yeah, good, perfect start. It couldn't have gone much better for Arsenal today. Could have won by 5 or 6, really, but for, a couple of missed chances and clearances off the line. Yeah, so much positivity about the team. And what I think today we learned is that individually, you don't necessarily have to have the 11 star players on the team at once. Because look at our bench. We've got Pepe there, we've got Saka, guys that I know a lot of the fans want in the team, and they'll get games, but it's all about what works for the team. And today the team worked quite brilliantly. The platform at the back was great, the movement was spot on, and it allowed the star men at the top end of the pitch, Lacazette, Willian and Aubameyang, to wreak havoc, and that's what they did. It's exciting, and what's also good to know is that we've got that ammunition from the bench today. Pepe and Ceballos came on, and Nketiah too. We didn't even need Bukayo Saka. That's how strong we are at the moment, which is great to see.
Adi, many thanks. Bigger tests to come, certainly, but Arsenal are up and running in the new Premier League campaign. They've beaten Fulham by 3-0 to sit, at the moment at least, at the top of the table. From all of us, it's goodbye.